So we have had a really busy week trying to pull this place together. We've started working in the shed. Tim has put in a ton of time in the shed. We've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. That will be saved for another video, however, because we're nowhere near being done. We have also been working on the landscaping around our home. Everything was overgrown and full of weeds, and so I focused on trying to get the front cleaned up first. And if you'll recall from the video that I made, our pre-remodeling video, there was just a lot of stuff to be taken care of. So I started with cleaning out all of the weeds out of the front and actually pulling out a couple of huge bushes that really shouldn't have been in the front because they were growing up in front of our screens. So I cleaned those out entirely. I cut them all the way back and then I pulled them up and I planted them somewhere else. I don't know if they'll live or not. If they do, that's great. If they don't, it'll be super easy to pull the stumps out of the ground. So I split each one of the bushes up that were left, and I ended up with 4 kind of small size bushes, but I'm assured by my neighbors that those bushes are going to grow back fairly quickly. And then we did buy 4 new bushes to put in between those, and the new ones I bought are called buttercups. And they're not supposed to grow very tall, which is great because we don't want those growing up and getting into our screens again. Moving on around the corner, I did pull out all of this purple ground cover that was in there because it was pretty sparse and it wasn't really covering the ground. So I pulled that out, and that left that cute little tree that's back in there. It left it kind of lonely, but that's okay for now. And then on the left side of the front steps, I cut back all those purple flowers all the way because, again, they were spindly. They looked really bad, but I think they'll grow back really good. Then along the east side of the house, I started to weed. In Florida, and this is really cool, in Florida, the roots don't have to grow way down into the soil to find water. There's water on the top of the soil, basically. So the weeds pull out really easily, way more easily than they do in Michigan. So that was a plus. It just took a while, and it was a lot of bent over, grueling, weeding, and sorting, shaking the dirt off of the weeds and getting rid of the weeds. But we did clear the east side of the house, and I planted 3 lavenders in there. Now, near the back of the house on the east side, when we came in May, there was this beautiful cactus growing, and I'm not exactly sure what kind it is. I've used Google Lens, and I'm not sure. It's between 2 things. I'm not really sure. But it was a cool cactus, and when we came back this year in December, that cactus had been overgrown by this bush that had limbs on it, basically that looked like bamboo to me. So the leaves didn't look like bamboo, but it's a really fast growing thing. So Tim has cut that out for now, and the cactus is free to continue growing. I did take a piece of that cactus that was already rooted into the soil that had kind of fallen over on the side, and I moved that up by the small tree by the front door, and then I popped off a couple other pieces of the cactus and planted it between the lavender. I don't know if they'll grow. If they grow, that's great. If they don't, I'm sorry I popped them off, but it was worth a try. So we basically got the front all cleaned out. I did get both of the clumps of palm trees that we have out front. They're small palms, but I got those all cleaned up, including around the bottom. I had to go out on the Facebook site for our park and ask for a couple more pieces of the stone border to go around the small clump of palm trees because the border didn't match. I think that, the people who lived here before us just used what they had, and they weren't truly interested in things matching, but that's okay. I went out on the Facebook page and I put out a plea along with a picture for another piece of this border, and within just an hour or so, my new friend Bev posted that she had some of that border and I was welcome to come and get it. So I did go get it. Unfortunately, I walked over to there to get it and I picked up 2 pieces and it was super heavy. But I made it all the way back to our home with it. I'm not going to do that again. This morning I realized that it would be kind of cool if I had a couple other pieces of trim that she had. The pieces that I brought back were 1/4 rounds, and she did have some 1/2 rounds, and I thought, well, that would be really cool to put around the tree that we have outside of our screen porch. So I messaged her early this morning and she assured me, yeah, come and get 2 more pieces of that. That would be great. She wasn't going to be there, but we knew where it was, out back. So we did go over with the truck this time and picked up those other 2 pieces of border, which I put along the side, be the west side of our home, along the screen porch, and we'll be getting another one of those small trees to stick in there. It's really nice for shade on the screen porch in the evening. It's really cool to watch the little geckos running up and down that tree. The other project that I started, even before I started working in the flower bed, was leveling the stepping stones on the west side of our home. Now, this was a project that I didn't anticipate would take me 3 days, but because the stones were about 5 inches thick, once I dug out around them, I couldn't really pick them up. I had to move them from side to side with the shovel and just kind of hoist them up and try to push dirt under them to get them level. And I did an okay job of that. Is this the way we want the path to the back to be in the end? Absolutely not. But it's okay for now. We've got these stepping stones going out towards the back. Unfortunately, I don't have enough to get all the way to the back where we have our garbage cans, but pretty close. I also was able to straighten up all the border that went along the base of the house, and that actually didn't even go all the way to the back, but I found enough of those pieces to make it go all the way to the back. So now we have the stepping stones unearthed, fairly level, and going around the west side of the house so that we don't have to walk in the grass to walk to the garbage can when we take the bags of garbage out or our recycles out. We are, like I say, working right along on the shed. We put out all kinds of stuff last weekend for free in our front yard, and I did advertise it on the Facebook page for the park, and many people came by and picked up little treasures out of our yard. I did have to throw a lot of things away and into the recycle once I realized, what people were going to take and what they weren't going to take. We're going to put out another table next weekend because there's still lots of stuff in that shed. Once we get the shed all the way cleaned out, then I will make a video about that and share that with you. I'm still hoping to get these outside tasks done so that I can move inside and start painting, because we really want to start fixing up the guest room for when guests come. In the meantime, I am on the floral sofa that was previously in our Florida room. We are trying to empty that Florida room out because we want to paint in there and lay down a new floor and do some new window treatments. So one of the neighbors was able to use the couch that we had previously in this room, and then we moved this floral couch from the Florida room into the den, and we're working towards getting that room emptied out so that we can work in there as well. Lots of projects coming up. Thank you so much to those of you who have viewed our videos. I'm kind of blown away by the number of views that we've had, and I think it's just fantastic. It's so much fun sharing with you what we are doing with our home. I'm hoping to maybe get out 1 or 2 videos a week, but we're probably not going to be very regular. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Tim and Carol retire.